Alright, hello everyone, welcome back for another edition of Video Game Pickups here at How to Lose It Video Games, and a happy 6th birthday to the Nintendo Switch. Today's March 3rd, so we're doing February pickup video, but it's exactly 6 years to the day of the launch of the Nintendo Switch. And let's start with what we've got for that system right here, because numerically it is the most prolific system here, although we'll skip right to the next, the other big one when we finish this. So first of all, we've got like 3 indie games and then Namco Museum Arcade Pack. So this will go really nicely with my really cool Famicom style import one that I believe they refer to as Namco Archives or whatever on the eShop. I have the physical of that with the Pac-Man Famicom cartridge on the front, and then all the games are Famicom ports, including a really cool Famicom style version of Pac-Man Championship Edition. And then this one is the arcade versions of those games, which includes Pac-Man Championship Edition 2, which is a great game. I love Pac-Man Championship Edition. It's always awesome. And then we've got Pac-Man Versus is on this, the GameCube game. But Galaga 88 is a standout here. 2 Rolling Thunder games and Splatterhouse. First Splatterhouse game is on here as well. So that's pretty cool. We move on. We've got Omori, ready to be emotionally devastated by this game when I get around to it. The Fangamer published release. I think that I actually bought this through Target, but you get it at Target, Best Buy, stuff like that. Really cool art style and everything like that. Yeah, not sure what I'm necessarily in for here. Just heard good things about it. Looks very interesting. We've got Death's Door, published by Devolver. This, looking at the back of this, it very much reminds me of Hades with the isometric viewpoint and everything like that. I don't think it's a roguelike or a roguelite quite like that, but I've heard some good things about this one here. Cool art style, and yeah, we'll give it a try. I think I only paid like $20 for that one. It was on sale at the time. And then lastly, we have Lovecraftian Horror, published by Humble Games, with a pixelated art style, Signalis. Yeah, like spacey, space station-y horror and stuff like that. It's a really cool, like, lenticular like photo in here. That, yeah, cool. And it's empty because my partner has actually started playing it before I did. But I'll get to that soon. So that's Switch. And then a big one over here. Kind of the result of the cause of the reason that it's a fairly small stack. This is a big one. Skies of Arcadia Legends for the GameCube. Not quite as crazy expensive as this used to be, but I really wanted to pick this up because we got it complete. It's kind of a game that I'd been meaning to get for a long time, in whatever condition, and platform that it came out for, or that I could get it for, basically. It's supposed to be absolutely phenomenal, and the kicker is just we don't have any version of it. We don't have any accessible version of Skies of Arcadia nowadays, so this is the option I went with. It's a big addition to my GameCube collection that I have not added a whole lot to recently because I had pretty much taken care of it, but this was always a big one that, even though it is an RPG and not really necessarily my style, like, it feels like a game that I just, like, I'd have to give a try at some point. We've got an NES game for the first time in a while, and just like the last time I got any NES games, it's just to cover all the bases on pinball games. So this is Rollerball, developed by HAL. It has one 4-tier table, and then like a 2-person table to try out as well. It's not expensive, not rare or anything like that, just one I didn't have. We've got Myst for the DS. I didn't have any version of the first Myst. I don't know if this version is particularly good, but it does have touch controls to get that point and click feel, so and wasn't expensive and came in, was complete and everything, so felt like picking it up because I just didn't have it and hadn't played it before. Alright. Let's move on to two PC games that I'm very silly for not realizing until after I bought them that these were not Switch titles. They're the only things on Super Rare's website that aren't Switch games, but they're still really awesome. These are Super Rare Mixtape Volume 3 and Volume 4. They are little PC releases that come on cassette tapes, and you open it up, you flip the USB bit out, and this contains all the games and the launcher for the games, and it's 30 indie titles on a compilation that just giving you a way to purchase them and pay for them on a physical piece of media is just really awesome. They come with a big book, big art book that details all the games that are in it, and just a really awesome little package. I wish it was on the Switch, but yeah, these are really cool, awesome stuff. Type of games that I want to buy physically, but they don't really come that way. We got two PS1 games here. The first one is Broken Helix, a Konami published shooter adventure game that I had not really paid too much attention before. But this is just a really clean copy, and I realized it has Bruce Campbell in it. So that's always interesting. Really, really trying to pull off the this is what we can do on the PS1 type of vibes with FMVs and voice acting, and explore over 1.6 million virtual square feet in an interactive 4D world. 95 minutes of interactive voice dialogue. So yeah, really, really going hard on all of the gimmicks that the PS1 could let you do. It's not a particularly talked about game, or a really inexpensive game, I don't think so. Just an odd one. Konami published when they were throwing a lot of things at the wall to see what they could do with the PS1. And then we have a Natsume published puzzle game. This is Turnabout. And Turnabout is basically just looks like Camel Try or Camel Tree. And that sort of rotate the puzzle to get the ball out. And it was under $10, so it just clean and bright colored, very, very yellow packaging everywhere. So yeah, always a interesting type of game, something that would be good fun, quick to jump into. This is a cool one here. This is Jurassic Park Operation Genesis on the PS2, and I could not believe that this game had really dropped in price a lot. This game used to be $60, $80 for the most common version of it, which is the PS2 one right here. And this is a beautiful, complete copy and everything. And it's what you want a Jurassic Park game to be. It's a park builder where you give you scenarios and all types of stuff. And maybe that's not great for a console. It's fairly hard to find on PC, and it's also on Xbox, where it's a rarer title on there as well. And I assume that the reason is the same reason I never bought it, the same reason that I considered not buying it until I realized that it was not expensive anymore, not as expensive at least, is that we have Jurassic World Evolution. We have 2 of those games now. And I assume that's the reason that it dropped in price so much, but it was $35, and I'm pretty sure you gotta feel like that's the cheapest it's gonna get, especially for a nice complete copy like this one. So I just made sure to pick it up because I didn't want to. I hadn't seen this game in years at this point, so just made sure to get it for the collection while I had the opportunity. And we have 2 more games. One PS4 game, Omen of Sorrow, published by Sedesco. This is a 2D, or I guess a 3D engine style fighting game with a big vibes of Darksiders with the horror characters and such. And I was really interested because I looked up, I was like, is it any good at all? And it seems like some people hate it, but some people really like it. So it's got very 6 to 7 out of 10 vibes on the reviews because some people can't stand it, some people think it's brilliant, and a lot of people just think, it does some things right and some things wrong. So it's all over the place. I think it'll be interesting, and it's got the style that I would love to see. It's got all classic horror style characters straight out of Darksiders, taking that version of character roster for themselves. We got vampires, we got mummies, we got werewolves, all kinds of stuff like that. So I'll have to give that a try and see which side I fall on. And then lastly, for the Xbox, is actually one of only 2 games that I have that even says Xbox Series X on it. This is Road 96. Now, I guess I would have preferred to get this on Switch, but I said, you know what, I don't think it's going to be like too much for the Xbox One S I have if I get around to playing it. And I looked up, I was like, so is this, what type of story-driven game is this going to be? And it's like, big anti-fascist energy. Supposed to be really good, actually. I've heard, it seems to be scoring very, very high. So, yeah, I figured I'd pick this up just for the, like less than $15 that I paid for this. So, this is a good one. I'll have to get around to it. I should make a point to play this specifically out of my Xbox library, Xbox One / Series X library that I don't really pay too much attention to at this point. But I definitely remember this getting announced and being like, oh, we'll see if that's going to be any good when it comes out for Switch. But it got lost in the shuffle for me, so figured I'd just pick it up while it was cheap, and I actually saw it. And that's it. That is it. It's a short stack this month. Most of that went into one very expensive title that I don't want to say it was a white whale, because it's not like I went out of my way for it. It's just really, really thought about it, and I was like, yeah, I feel like I gotta pull the trigger on this. So that's Skies of Arcadia. We'll see. It's just a big piece to add to the GameCube collection that mostly was complete as far as I was concerned. But, yeah. Happy birthday, Switch. I'll see you next month. And keep an eye out for more 64 gameplay streams. We've got Kirby. We've got some sports game. I don't know what the fuck else. Kirby's coming up. I'm playing Kirby. It's awesome. Alright. See you.